You have arrived at your destination. Digital Street is to your right.
Welcome back to Digital Street, aka your girl's favorite podcast. So if it's your first time here, we literally own a street in the metaverse called Digital Street. And every week, Sadra and I meet up over here to battle gatekeepers by learning and sharing the meta on the rapidly evolving tech and business scene so that you don't fall behind and so that we don't fall behind either. Because we're just learning with you guys. But yeah, this week, go for it.
So, I was gonna say, once we reach a little update on our metaverse situation on Digital Street, once we reach 100 followers, we're actually gonna buy a mansion on Digital Street. We just kind of need that capital, but once we get 100 subs or followers on Instagram, I think I think we can start getting a little more involved in the metaverse, don't you think, Marzu?
But yeah, I agree. I agree.
So yeah, this week we're gonna start it off by talking about a Robo-Dog, which is kind of a robot dog joining the New York police force. They tried this before, they didn't have this much success, but with the surge of AI technology, they're retrying it again.
Yeah, that was about 2 years ago, and now they're trying it again. And we're also going to talk about Hivemapper and Helium, which are two Web3 projects, which you can probably make some bank off of. And they're pretty cool technology too, and giving more power to the people. And yeah, that's all Web3 is about, right?
Exactly. And now, keeping up in the Web3 space, we're going to talk about some NFT stuff, NFT volume drop that we saw a few months ago, actually. And we're going to talk about why it happened, what that means for you, and how you can, as an investor, or even just someone in the NFT space, how you can take advantage of that.
Yep. And so last week or a couple weeks ago, we spoke about Musicfy, which is like a pretty cool technology to create AI music, right? So Musicfy has been going through some legal troubles, which like we all probably expected. And they made a bunch of updates to their product as well. And yeah, just a bunch of cool stuff happening at Musicfy and cool and scary. So we're going to talk about those updates.
And then finally, we're going to end it off with our bi-weekly segment, AI or human made. Last week we did something else, so now we're going back to it. And yeah, so stick till the end if you want to participate alongside with us.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, you should just like stick around to the end and like play with your girl because like your girl's gonna be playing with us anyways. Like you don't want her to play
That's
alone,
true.
right? And we have so much risk during these like challenges. Like we usually just like convert like every girl to become like a Digital Street fangirl, and like she doesn't stay your girl anymore. So you gotta like keep your girl, right? Stay until then.
You got
But
to risk
yeah,
it for the
that's
podcast.
exactly.
There's a risk to watching this podcast if you have a girl.
Exactly. But yeah, that's a good transition into, I don't know how that's a good transition into it,
How's that a good transition? We went from talking about stealing your girl to crime fighting robot that joins the NYPD. There's your
yeah,
transition.
that's the transitions at Digital Street. There's makes sense, right?
So,
But yeah,
like, do you want to start it off, Marzook, or do you want me to take over?
yeah, I was just gonna say that there's some dystopian stuff happening in New York City, and like the citizens, like they actually tested this program out like 2 years ago, and the citizens wanted it to be shut down because it was like just too scary of a thing for everyone, right? But I, s- I like we did research about this before the pod, and like I was with New York citizens about the fact that it's kind of like a scary thing, right? But like there's definitely value in like having these robot dogs rather than actual humans doing some certain tasks. And we'll tell you about that. I think Sadra wanted to tell you some.
Yeah, like in my opinion, His name is Digidog, which is I don't know. I don't fuck with the name. I thought they could do better, but
Yeah, it's pretty lame.
it seems like New York is always the one that's developing like new technologies in terms of its police force. Like even in the video you shared, I saw it had like a what is it called? Star Chase, like a device that like you shoot and it goes on the car and that car has like a GPS on it because of that device. So I don't know,
Mm.
it seems like New York is always the one trying out new stuff, which is cool. But
That's like that game, no? What what's that game where like I can't remember what the game is where like there's just some like super advanced guy with like really advanced technology,
Minecraft?
like cyberpunk or something.
Oh
Minecraft.
yeah, Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a pretty advanced society, yeah. Um,
And thing, what Need for Speed has that too, no? Wait, isn't that a real thing?
Need for
Oh,
Speed?
that's like a yeah, like in Need for Speed, there's this tool where you could like shoot some like spikes onto a car, and then if you're within a close distance to the car, then you could shut off the
Oh,
car's system or something.
what the fuck? I mean, that's pretty
I don't,
advanced. I think this is just a tracker.
oh,
I don't
okay.
think it's like you're going on a speed chase and then you just shoot it at someone's car and then they just turn off and like the car catapults and they die. Like,
Oh,
is
okay.
that,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, so
that's what it is in your in Need for Speed.
yeah, that'll be pretty intense in real life. They would definitely need regulations for that. But yeah, I was gonna say like New
Mm.
York always comes up with these type of new technologies. And in terms of the digital like robot dog joining the force, I don't really like they had when they're coding it, they need to have some sort of boundary as to like when it attacks someone and when it defends someone. And I don't know how they're gonna I don't know how they're gonna find that limit into like how they're gonna set boundaries for that police dog in terms of its coding and AI machinery. Like when do you know it's a good time to attack? Like when do you know you have to back off? When do you know you have to protect someone? Like how are you gonna perfect the decision making on a robot dog? That's my main
Yeah.
concern.
Wait, didn't they name it Spot?
I it I just read I was reading this. It says DigiDog is out of the pound, the mayor said. Well, that was in
Oh,
2021. I don't know. Maybe they also revamped the name.
yeah, I guess they made a few updates. The name is a pretty good update.
There are a few
But
updates.
hopefully they, yeah, what as you're saying, hopefully they control its autonomous capabilities of it. Because like
Yeah.
it's saying that it's autonomous, but like like how do you control that as a police officer, right?
They just they just base it they just base it off the skin color. Because New York New York police person they chose Black
I
Lives
wouldn't
Matter.
even doubt that Black Lives Matter. I wouldn't even doubt that the robot all lives matter. Black Lives Matter
That's
too. We don't want to get canceled in the
yeah,
future,
yeah.
but like we we're pro everyone
We
ex
love everyone.
except except for some people, but not like races, you know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
If you're watching this, we
but
don't hate you. That's all we gotta say.
yeah, we don't hate anyone. Yeah,
Exactly.
but yeah, like I honestly I don't even doubt that like these technologies are run by weird people, and that something like that might can happen where like the robot targets a race or something. Because like, yeah, I don't trust the people that are building this to
Mhm.
not build
You're saying
something
like
without bias.
everything has to be public if we're actually gonna commit to this,
Yeah,
right?
like we gotta make sure that the technology is safe enough to not have like bias and to not think too much for itself to
Or
cause like destruction for humans.
you know what it could be? It could be like a drone thing. Like maybe someone controls the dog and from there they can make the decisions like a officer controls the dog, and then it also provides like protection for the police officer since you're just
Yeah,
putting that robot's life at stake.
yeah, that would be cool. But like, are you saying like that's what should be replaced with this robot dog?
Like I'm thinking that's one of the ways they can implement it, but
Maybe, but they're saying that it's autonomous.
okay, yeah, then yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how exactly they're gonna do that. Because I don't think the
Yeah,
robots are ready to be like deployed into the police force. Because we're talking about life and death here. Like,
yeah,
you want to go that serious in it? I don't know how capable we are with AI and like things like autonomous robots. So, just my thoughts
yeah,
about it.
facts. Like the stuff that they're saying these robot dogs will be used for is like for bomb squad or something. So for stuff like that, it makes sense that a robot's taking the role of a human so that
Hmm.
we prevent lives from being lost. But like the robot could also make a mistake and cause like many more lives to be lost instead of like just one police officer or a few police officers. So
Yeah,
yeah,
like I
it's
think
kind of
it's
tricky.
good in terms of protection, like protecting the officers that serve us. But then that also means that they're gonna be attacking people. So that's kind of where the conflict goes. Because if there's always there
Yeah,
if there's an advantage to something, then I think there's always gonna be a disadvantage to it too.
yeah,
So
100%. The one good thing though is that like it could be that it could be programmed into AI to so an AI could be programmed for it not to have any bias, right? And it would just operate without bias and without fatigue. So it could work for long hours as long as it's like batteries charged or whatever. And it could operate without bias too, so that like no racism is in the police force anymore. And like so that like the
no
streets are
discrimination.
always no discrimination and like so the streets are always being kept safe because like police officers get tired, they probably can fall asleep on the shift, right?
Yeah,
So I
that's a
guess
good
that's a
point. Yeah,
pro.
yeah. Like humans are, they can't always perform at 100%. Just we're humans, right? We need that maintenance time. We need that rest time. But I guess robots is that's where they would shine, right? They can always perform at 100%. Like you said, they just need to like reboot or get recharged.
Yeah. But then the scary thing is like what do you think? Could these robots be controlled like and hacked into? Like what if a country just wants to like destroy a city so they just take control over and like their rival countries, robot
Yeah,
dogs?
that's a really good point. Yeah. Yeah, like yeah, that's I don't even know how to answer that because you would need a just another level of like security protection in terms of hacking and stuff to make sure that they're not taking over. Because let's say your whole city or region is just ran by these robot dogs or just robot police officers. If you can take one over, then you can take over all of them and just it's chaos for the whole city. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be really interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, that would be scary. I guess like there would be units that would make sure that all of these are always secure. I guess that's how like there would be a transition. Like if police officers aren't doing much of the physical work anymore, then like police officers would be in the cyber unit and like protecting, making sure that the security of these robot forces are protected or something.
I think if I'm being honest, I think they would just get laid off because I think they
Yeah.
would just hire cybersecurity people that are
Mm,
already trained. I mean, it's on this
mm,
unfortunate decision, right? Like as we get more into robotics and AI, there's probably going to be more layoffs.
mm.
I guess they would just have to learn how to adapt. But yeah, I think if we're going into that direction where we're trying to make everything robotic in terms of the police force, a lot of these high intensity jobs I think, like you said, if we figure out the right way to do it, robots can definitely be better than humans at it because humans can't always operate at 100% because we have emotions, we have feelings, but robots don't have any of that. They're just trained to do whatever we program them to do. So yeah, I think, like you said, if we get to a state where we're kind of just uh having robots do all the work for police officers, then we might look at layoffs as well, like loss of jobs in terms
Yeah,
of these high intense jobs.
yeah. Lots of like current jobs at least. Because
Yeah.
like you got like we always got to stay optimistic. Like there's no point of being pessimistic. And like if we stay optimistic, then we could think with a clear mind and figure out what other way that we could provide value in the world. Because like there's always going to be jobs for us, but we just got to figure out how to adapt.
Yeah. Adapt. Yeah. Adapting. I think we said this before. It was one of my quotes or one of your quotes. Like as long as you're adapting to the technology and the environment around you, I don't think you have to worry about your career going out, getting laid off from your career as long as you can adapt.
Yeah, 100%. Think I I touched everything that I wanted to speak about for the robot dog stuff. What about you?
Yeah, yeah, I liked it. It was a good conversation, I think. It's good that we kind of went in our own little topics, like subtopics within that, like how what happens if we get all the what happens if this goes into I don't know how to say it, but like I like how we go into different topics within that one main topic. I think we should keep doing that. But yeah, I
Yeah,
said everything I had to say.
yeah, exactly. Because like we're trying to give you guys like updates about tech and stuff, but like this podcast is so that we can have like deeper discussions about all of this. Because like of course you see all this news on like CP24 for Canadians and like Fox News or whatever for Americans. And like, sure, everyone could watch the news, but like over here, we help you guys and like we like talk with you guys about like deeper discussions about all of this stuff, so that we could like start thinking. We could all start thinking deeper about all of it and together. But yeah, that's a good transition to some new innovative technology that it's not super new. Like a few of you might have heard about it already, but we want to talk about Hivemapper and Helium, which are these new technologies which which are changing the mapping economy and also how we all get internet and how we all keep track of all of our devices. So I can start off by talking about Helium. So Helium is basically a tool which has a bunch of hotspots. It's like a Helium's a network, and they sell hotspots that like everyone can keep within their home. And with this network of hotspots, IoT devices, so devices that are connected to the internet, such as trackers and like all of these devices, like scooters are IoT devices too, like the scooters that are around cities and stuff that you can rent out. And like a lot of things that we use day to day are IoT devices. And so those can be tracked using the Helium ecosystem. And this way, like this decentralized network of routers that are in people's homes and they're on large antennas around the world on in like remote locations. This worldwide network allows for these trackers and these devices to never be lost because each each hotspot is like a part of the network, right? And it's giving signals to each different hotspot on the network. And through that, your devices are always kept on the network and like the location of them is known is known like just through like the Helium network itself, like that's its value, right? So there are many cases of people putting trackers that are connected to the Helium network on stuff like their like um fishing missions. So basically they like I guess they like they were trying to capture some crabs in the middle of the ocean. And yeah, so they put like some tracker on their crab like fishing contraption or whatever. And then that like contraption actually got stolen, or it like the police actually like took it away from them, right? And through the tracker, since the tracker was like backed up by the Helium network, they were able to find the exact location of their um their fishing thing, and they were able to retrieve their entire um crab fishing contraption thing. And yeah, it was just a pretty cool use case of it. There are like many more use cases, like people paragliding through mountains, putting trackers on themselves, and if they were ever to get lost or they crashed somewhere and they needed urgent help, then people would be able to track exactly where they are and be able to help them.
Yeah, I think I think Marzooq definitely has more experience to it. I still remember you coming up to me in like 2001, saying, "Yo, you have to buy this helium
2001?
thing." Sorry, 2021. 2021. I remember him coming up to me. He's like, "Yo, you have to buy these hotspots. I think they're the future." I mean, I'm not saying he's wrong, right? They definitely have. There's definitely still a opportunity to make money. But yeah, it was yeah, so I think Marzooq definitely has more experience on it than me. Back then I still didn't when you explained to me, I still didn't really know what it was doing and what it meant. I just remember like kind of going through the hotspots around where we lived, kind of figuring out how to set it up and stuff. Because I couldn't actually buy one yet. But yeah. So I think Helium is cool, like you said. It's just like a hotspot, right? Like you set up the device wherever you can, and devices that are IoT, which basically mean they get connected to to the internet, uh, they would basically just get transmission and bandwidth in places they couldn't get before because of those certain hotspots. Like, is that what the basic function of it is?
Yeah, that's exactly what it currently is. And all of these hotspots, these like large antennas, which are also hotspots. So there's like mini router hotspots and like large antenna hotspots that have larger bandwidth and connection range. So all of these are like I guess like a side hustle for people, and you actually get paid for keeping that hotspot up and keeping the network going. And like your antenna and like your hotspot router, that like maintains the connection and validates all of these like signals that are coming through. Like you don't have to do any work, you just have to set it up, and then it
And
does
they
all
do
of
the
that
work for you.
validation. Yeah,
Okay,
so that's what
so
it currently is.
okay, interesting. I was gonna say like so what I'm doing in university is kind of goes a lot into network connectivity and IoT devices too. So what I remember, I just want to share this. Something we covered in my networking class was that the current protocol we use to kind of identify devices through the internet is called IPv4, right? And IPv4 is basically the protocol we use for IP addresses. So you see the four octets of numbers that everyone has on their devices. That's called an IP address. I'm sure you know what it is. Um, so the thing is that with IoT devices coming into play, we're running out of addresses because we don't have enough IPv4 addresses if we're giving every device an address. Things like printers, fridges, scooters, like you mentioned, putting them on crabs, things like that. We're running out of addresses, and we're also getting limited connectivity because of the IPv4 protocol. Because when it was made, we didn't believe that it would have the recognition it had now. Like when IPv4 was made, when IP addresses were made, basically, we didn't know that it would be as popular as it is now. So we are moving towards a new protocol called IPv6, like in the world, that allows us to have a lot more IP addresses to get. Oh my God, there's a fucking fly on me. But yeah, oh my God, bro. Fuck, man. So yeah, I was saying there's we're moving towards a new protocol, and to fix that kind of limited connectivity, I think Helium could be a very good solution because it kind of acts as an access point. So I actually didn't know this, but now I'm gonna say I think Helium could be a very good technology in terms of providing that limited connectivity that we had a problem with before, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. I know I just dumped a whole lot of information on you, but I try to make it as concise as possible.
Yeah, no, you explained it pretty well. But yeah, that's only one thing about helium though. That's the really exciting thing. Like that's like a pretty cool use case that many people would find value from. But the main thing that Helium wanted to do was create hotspots where anyone anywhere in the world could access internet whenever they need to through a
Oh, okay.
similar, yeah, through a similar network of hotspots like they have right now. They would just like set up routers and all of these similar hotspots. And instead of just connecting IoT devices, they would use all of those devices as a hub for internet.
So are they planning on like making it free to the whole world, or are they gonna have like a membership plan like other internet service providers?
So what I remember learning about these hotspots, what they're planning, it probably might have changed by now, but you would basically rent the internet for however long you need it from that specific internet host.
Mm.
So wherever you're renting the internet from, that host will get some money from you, and Helium will also make some money. And yeah, that's how the pricing would work.
Interesting. So they're planning just to make internet service providers in general, just to make them obsolete and be the one uh internet provider that everyone uses.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like there's what Elon Musk company, I forgot what it was called, like
Starlink?
kind of Starlink. Yeah, Starlink would probably be like one of the providers, like Helium would be one. And like currently we don't have any worldwide internet, right? So I guess this would just be one of the providers because there are a bunch of people working on technology like this.
So you're saying they can kind of coexist together. We don't have to just be on one.
Yeah, but like those new technologies will coexist together, but these like current Rogers and all of them, they'll probably go out of business unless they adapt because of course like helium and everything is going to be so much cheaper.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah. I think
But that's if it, what's up?
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's if it actually ends up happening. Like I don't know how difficult that would be and like how long it would take.
Yeah, I was literally about to say the same thing. Like, it's like everything else in the AI world. Uh, I think it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. I think we're in a situation where even with Helium and Starlink, we have optimistic plans about it, but it's gonna depend on everything else in the world, I think, also going the right way. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see it play out.
Yeah, definitely. If there's nothing else about helium, I could transition into Hivemapper.
Yeah, I think I said all I had to say about it. I'm good on my end.
All right. All right, cool. So yeah, well, actually, one more thing I wanted to touch on for Helium is that one of the founders of Helium was previously the founder of Napster, and I'm not sure if you know about it. Do you know what
Me?
Napster is? Yeah.
Uh, I heard like it's an old tool. I don't know what it's for, but like I heard the name
So
before.
Yeah, so Napster was basically like a file sharing system, and like people usually shared music over it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like that wasn't allowed at that time. And
Mm,
like I don't think it is currently either. Like you can't, like if Drake created a song and you just like copied the audio and posted it on SoundCloud or Spotify, it would probably get taken down, right?
yeah,
So that's what he was doing. That's what his tool was enabling.
interesting.
So his tool got shut down, and that's like something similar to Musicfy, which is what's currently being built, right? It's like if Napster was still present today, they would be doing something like Musicfy, which is creating unique music using other people's voices, but you're not really like just copying their music and posting it, right? But yeah, he actually went through a bunch of troubles with Napster, of like around I don't want to say exact dates, but I'm guessing it's around like early 2000s. And yeah, he went through a bunch of troubles with that. And then I think he founded a bunch of other stuff and got kind of mildly rich. And then now he's building Helium with two other people. One of them is Muslim.
That's
But
interesting.
yeah,
So he's always been in the sector of like, I guess trying to, I don't know how to say this. Like he's always been an
break
innovator
things.
of
Yeah,
technologies. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, so I was gonna talk about Hivemapper. So basically, the founder of Hivemapper, he worked at Yahoo for 5 years on Yahoo Maps and their search stuff. So he got a bunch of experience in the industry. He founded another company before Hivemapper and like raised like a few like tens of millions or something. Now he's working on Hivemapper, and Hivemapper basically the technology the technology is that it allows people to put like something similar to Helium, like a hot Helium has hotspots, but Hivemapper has dash cams. So you could put dash cams on your car, and you could constantly update the Hivemapper map, which you could just consider Hivemapper as like an alternate to Google Maps and like Apple Maps. And so this way the maps are constantly updated, and the people that are updating the maps, they get paid through constantly updating it. So it's a good side hustle for people. And this data is then sold to businesses, which currently happens too. Like they map the world for our ease, but they also map it so that they could sell it to businesses, and that's how they make money, right? So these guys are basically trying to make money from map data, keep the maps updated all the time, like as updated as possible. Like this way it would be updated daily rather than monthly or yearly. And they would use the money that they make from businesses to sell it back to the people that are actually updating the maps.
Interesting. So I think there was another app, I forgot what it's called. Uh I remember a lot of my friends that were driving used it. I think my brother used it too. It's like an app where it's the same thing, like you're on a map and you update it in the sense that if there's traffic, or the main use was like if there's cops watching in that
Oh,
route. So if you know, like if you know you can speed or you have to stay behind the limit. I don't remember what it's called, but I remember it was
is it
really
Waze?
popular. Yeah, I think Waze. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
So is that like a similar concept to that?
somewhat, but this is basically just like it's not really just updating road conditions about like if there's like cops and stuff, but like suppose like there's a new there's a new street in your neighborhood and Google Maps hasn't covered it yet. then you could drive yourself with your dash cam that Hivemapper sells. So like the quality of the recording is good enough for them to put it on the map. And this way you can map your street. You can put your street onto the map that anyone can access immediately rather than having to wait a few months or years for Google to update it themselves using their uh, s- their Google cars or whatever.
Interesting.
So,
Okay.
so this is basically just to update. So like I think there's a big problem of like remote areas in like Africa and stuff and like third world countries, like their maps don't get updated, right?
Yeah.
So so being able to update the maps of like the entire world just like through your common daily traveling is a good way for people to make money and for the entire world to be mapped as well.
It's like a decentralized Google Maps, basically.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this tool. Like they're actually like unlike Helium, they're actually doing it already. And it's not as difficult as creating like worldwide internet. They're just mapping the entire world. So like
Yeah.
the only difficult thing I could think of is like them having to reduce cost of these dash cams or whatever so that people in Africa could actually buy it. I'm not saying that people in Africa are poor, but like of course like it's an entire continent, right? But like if they want to map out like rural areas, then like you either get rich people to do it or like you reduce costs so that poor people can make money with it too, and so that these rural areas are mapped constantly.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess distribution would be the main problem here, just to make sure everyone has one. Because if like only a few people have one, then you're not gonna really get anywhere with the features that it offers.
Yeah, exactly. Could you hear any background noise right now?
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
I like I don't have anything else to add about this. What about you?
yeah, same here.
So I think we're gonna talk a little more about NFTs now in Web3. We don't really talk about NFTs that much since it is a bearish market. So we don't really have much to talk about anyways. But we just wanted to kind of go over what's been happening to just keep you in the loop. Even if you're not really NFT enthusiast like myself and maybe Marzook, we can kind of provide that information to you. So just to provide you a basic understanding for listeners, or even for you, Marzook, I don't know how updated you are on the current NFT market. So last year, during 2021 and 2022, we had one of the best years in the NFT market. It's just that's when the main boom happened and when everyone was making money off of like different different dumb projects, and it was basically free money for some and others were getting scammed. Um, that was mainly between 2021 and 2022. And in 2023, and at the end of 2022, we saw a huge bear market coming up. It's usually how it works, right? When there's a new technology coming in, everyone gets involved. It goes to its highest point, and then it just slowly drops because it's not as popular anymore. I think we're gonna see that with AI too. Um, so so now in the first 2 months of 2023, that was actually the best quarter since 2022, since the second quarter in 2022. So since 2022, like June, May-ish, January and February in 2023 was the best quarter we had due to in terms of like NFT trading volume. And NFT trading volume is basically any kind of NFT transactions. Either you buy from a project, someone buys from you, any transaction counts as NFT trading volume. And the main reason we had that spike in January and February 2023 was because of Blur token farming. Token farming is basically Blur is just an app that provides NFTs like anything else. and they have a token that you need to buy it with. And what it does to reward its users is that it airdrops tokens to those users, and those users can just sell the tokens because they're actually worth money. They're basically a cryptocurrency. So at that time, Blur said that they're gonna come out with token airdrop. So they're gonna airdrop you tokens for free if you use their marketplace and their platform. So everyone just started using their marketplace and platform to trade NFTs. So then the NFT trading volume went up. That's the main reason we saw a surge in that quarterly in that area from January to February. But other than that, NFTs have been pretty dead in terms of NFT volume. In April, only 6 out of the top 20 NFT collection increased their trading volume. So last month, or for the past few months, other than January and February, the trading volume has actually been decreasing for the top 20 projects. And if the top 20 projects aren't increasing in their volume and their trading volume and buying and selling, then no other project is gonna see that. Because if any project would be increasing, it would be them first, and then the other smaller projects kind of follow on to that. So all other collections decreased anywhere from 20% to 99% in terms of trading volume. So some projects just completely disappeared in terms of pricing. Like at the surge, they were like 1 Ethereum floor price, which is the minimum price, and now they're like 0.001 Ethereum. If you want some exact numbers, I think Doodles, I'm not sure if you know Marzooq Doodles.
Doodles.
It's a NFT project.
Yeah.
I forgot. This guy was a founder. This guy that made the project was a founder of a big tech company. I don't really remember. But Doodles is like, yeah, it's like the 7th biggest project, and it tanked by 63%. Bored Ape Yacht Club tanked by 20%, and Moonbirds, which is like I think top 13, dropped by 73%. So all of those dropped in trading volume by big amounts, and that's where that's what we were talking about the NFT volume drop that happened a few months ago. So I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. I think we're going to keep seeing this kind of trickle down effect into other projects, and we're going to see everything kind of come down. And in terms of trading volume and prices, we might see a stabilization period. I'm not sure about that, but I'll just leave you guys with this. I think one, if you want to invest, now is the time to do it. I don't think you should wait any longer to kind of let the market go down. It might go up. We're not too sure, but like I can't 100% give you an answer. And even when investing in different things like stocks and crypto, you can't ever find the exact bottom and find the best price for it. So as long as it's affordable to you and you believe in the project, I think you should go in. So I think right now is a great time to invest for you as an NFT investor. And two, in terms of what to invest in, I think projects that have history, which means that they have been in this space for a long time, even before like when the popularity came. I think those are the projects to invest to, because those guys actually do it for the passion they have in NFTs and not just because there was a price surge and money was involved. And two, I think you should invest in projects that have proven themselves during that bull run. So big projects like CloneX, Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks, the capital is a little bit higher than that for those. But if you really want a safe kind of blue chip bet, I would say to go with the proven players in this space. So yeah, like just to summarize everything I said, the NFT volume's been dropping just because now is the time for the market to restabilize. And as we're going down, I think it's going to drop further. But if you want to invest, I think right now is the time to do it. And you should invest in operators of NFT projects that have proven themselves to be good operators. And you should invest in history in terms of NFT projects that have been here for a long time. So you know they're actually in it, not for the money, but just for the passion they have for NFTs.
Thank you, Sadra, for all those knowledge bombs. And yeah, this Doodles project, I searched it up when you were telling me that the founders are some cool people. So the founders they do some they created Doodles, which does like makes NFTs about burnt toast or something.
Um, so they have a very cartoon-like look to their NFTs. It's not
Okay.
toasters. You might be looking at their new like sub NFT collections. Their main collection, Doodles, it's just like cartoon people. I'm not sure if
Oh,
you get,
okay.
yeah. So I'm not too sure what the exact benefit is to having one of those, but they've been a pretty good uh like they're coming out with their own cartoon show and like
Yeah,
merchandise and stuff. So I think in terms of operators, they're hitting it right where it needs to be hit. But I'm not sure what the main benefit is of having one.
that's pretty sick. The two founders of Doodles were actually two coworkers at Dapper Labs before.
Yeah,
And
Dapper Labs, yeah, that's what I was looking for.
yeah,
So maybe yeah, maybe
I
not a
don't
founder,
know.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if they are Canadian, but they did work. Wait, Burnt Toast, the earliest of Canada-based. Yeah, Stephen Martin. Okay, Scott. Okay, so they based their artwork, one of their artworks, on a Canadian, but they both of them worked together at Dapper Labs, which is a Canadian company. Right,
Yeah,
right?
Dapper Labs is Canadian, yeah.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, that's a cool fun fact and a bunch of not investment advice, but a bunch of advice from Sadra that you should ponder on and plan for.
Definitely.
But yeah, let's speak
If you lose
about
money, don't blame me. Blame Marzooq.
yeah,
Nah, I'm
just
joking.
come into the metaverse and then like start
We'll
trolling
repay
Sadra.
you. We'll repay you in our own currency.
Yeah. But yeah, let's speak about Musicfy now. So Musicfy is going through a bunch of lawsuits from New York Music. Oh wait, no, sorry, Universal Music, Sony Music, and Warner Music. So that's pretty insane and pretty big. That means that they're actually doing something right, but they got a cease and desist from all three of these companies, I think. And that can get kind of tricky because like Napster didn't win the lawsuits against them, and that's why they had to shut down, I think. So like since there's IP involved in this lawsuit, if it continues, um, the cost can skyrocket since there's IP included. But like I don't know how these lawsuits work. Like if Musicfy can create some collaboration with them or like figure out some pricing where anyone that creates a song using their artist's voice, they would get like um a percentage of royalties from it or something, right? They could figure something out like that with them. I'm not sure if it's possible, but what do you think?
I think in this case, I think the artists are the ones that are more scared than the actual record labels. Because I think they're not as optimistic as us in terms of thinking, saying, oh, they can just license their voice to it and make money on the side, like we said. So I think in this case, they're just viewing it as if they can make music off of our voice, then it's kind of game over for us. Like, what are we doing here, right? If we have writers that can
Yeah,
just make music off of our voice. So I think maybe that's where Universal Music, Sony Music, and Warner Music came from. I think it would be better for them, like you said, to kind of collaborate with them or maybe buy them out. I'm not sure what the CEO has in plan for that, the CEO of or founder of Musicfy. But I think whichever big record label puts their effort into this kind of mixing AI with music, I think they're definitely going to be profiting off of this.
100%. I think Musicfy, like, I hope the founder, or I'm not sure if there are multiple co-founders or just one founder and then a bunch of um, employees, I guess, if you want to call them, or partners. But the founder, Arif, he's a pretty like badass like builder. He builds a bunch of cool shit, and like from what I understand, Musicfy is something like his big breakthrough project that he's trying to build, and I don't think he would give up just on this. Like, I doubt that he would just give up and even sell it to any of these record labels. Maybe he would, and like, he would sell it and then continue to run the project.
Hmm.
But I don't think he would give up on this opportunity because it's too big of an opportunity for him to miss out on.
That's fair. Yeah, that's totally fair. I think yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I don't. Do you know how serious these cease and desist? How do you say that? Cease and desist?
Season desist. Yeah,
Yeah, cease and desist. Think letters are from these record labels. Like they're just trying to ban Musicfy. Is that what they're trying to do, or they're trying to like ban Musicfy and then make their own version out of it?
yeah. I don't doubt that they would make their own version or something. But yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They just want Musicfy to completely shut down their platform.
Mm.
But I don't think that Musicfy cares at all because they made like a website update. They added pricing for their tool. They added more features.
That's such a
Like,
taunt.
yeah, that's why I'm saying like he comes out of the founder Arb. He comes out of this incubator called F Inc. And that incubator alone has so many connections that like I don't doubt that he could get funding to battle this cease and desist or like get connected to the right people to be able to get build a collaboration with these uh, record labels and companies and artists rather than having to be shut down for because of these lawsuits.
So I guess he is kind of skilled enough to be able to navigate these scenarios because he's been in them before and he has the connections to deal with them.
Yeah. I don't think he's been in such such stuff like this before,
Mm.
like a lawsuit or anything, but he does have like a bunch of mentors, I assume, at I think like Furkan and like um what's it called, Farza, a bunch of big people at I think who've been a bunch of older people at I think who have been through big challenges and like built insane companies. So they have enough experience to give him guidance. They probably have enough connections to be able to connect Arab to people who can help him figure all of this out. And they probably have enough connections to help him get funding and stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be
Because
very. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, it would be big for Musicfy, a huge dub for Musicfy, but it would also be a huge dub for F Inc. if Musicfy continues on their path and becomes like the biggest AI music generation tool. Because like I think everyone knows that this could be a really big industry.
For sure, yeah, I totally agree. It's gonna be interesting to see how exactly it's gonna play out. Who's gonna be the main man to take over this kind of mix of AI and music?
Yeah, main man or woman. Because like
Main man.
your girl's listening to this,
This podcast is not off to a good start in terms of canceling us.
right? We that's just how we speak because we usually don't speak with women
Exactly.
other than on the pod.
We don't speak
But
with them, but they watch us.
exactly, they try to speak to us, but we just don't speak to them
We
back.
reject them.
You gotta stay hello, you know?
And we try to keep because we're trying to keep all the ideas only to you guys. We don't want to share anything to them because they don't watch if they don't watch the podcast.
Yeah, they only find out about our ideas on the pod. We gotta gatekeep a bit, you know,
Exactly.
until they get to the pod.
Perfect. Finally, my favorite part of the podcast. I'm joking. All of it is my favorite, but it is time for the AI and human segment. And while I set that up, I don't know, Marzooq, talk about something. Talk about the political state of Canada.
And the
Find your own thing to
economic
talk
state of the
about.
world.
Exactly.
All right. So yeah, this week, Sadr sent me a few like pretty like weird pictures. I don't know if I should share them in AI or human made, but yeah, it was kind of tricky. Like I don't know if I should put them in or not. Like they were kind of like pretty lustful pictures.
Beautiful.
But yeah, what do you guys say? Should I put it in next week or no?
I think we should have a Patreon and only the Patreon people can see it.
Facts. Not OnlyFans because that's kind of weird. So yeah, we'll do Patreon.
Exactly.
How our human made you be the judge of that?
Let me know
Yeah, you're good.
if you can see it. Okay, give me 1 second.
The frick is that? That's so scary.
It is
I
pretty
hope that's
scary.
not real.
Uh, I might have a little problem here unless, okay, well, that's good. Just imagine you didn't see the second picture, just erase that from your mind.
Okay.
And we can get started. So yeah, let me know if you think this is real or AI made.
That has to be AI made. Like what the hell?
No, these are actually clouds in Australia. They're called Arcus clouds. Uh,
Whoa, what the
I don't know
hell?
much about them, but yeah, these are, I thought they were waves, but they're actually clouds. So yeah, this
Yeah,
is
it looked like
real
waves.
from Australia. Now on to the next picture. Two pictures.
Is that supposed to be
Oh,
like a
sorry.
is that supposed to be a real and a fake picture right beside each other or what?
No, they're both in the same category. So they're either both AI or they're both fake. I mean, so they're both
Okay.
AI or both real.
Okay. Um, this is hard. I think it probably AI made.
Yeah, you're right. This is AI made. This is actually a person, like a celebrity. I don't know her, Claudia Steinbaum, but apparently this is her with kids. The prompt was like uh on Midjourney, Claudia Steinbaum celebrating uh Halloween with kids. And then it was like a special mode of Sony Capture that I don't remember. But yeah, this is what that is.
Oh,
And
I see.
now, so you got the first one right. You got the first one wrong. You got the second one right. So you have
Yep.
one wrong, one right. Okay.
What is that? Freaking alien man?
I in my
Is that
pictures,
a superhero?
I named him Golden Lad. I don't really know who he is.
Golden lad. That's a pretty sick car.
That's a
That's
very nice
probably AI
car.
made.
Yeah, that is AI made with Midjourney again.
Dog. 1, 2.
One, two.
Okay. It's kind of hard, but I think it's human made.
Oh my God, Marzooq, you're on a roll. Yeah, this is human made.
Hey,
I think
let's
this is
go.
in I think this is in Taiwan. I don't remember when, but it was like a black hole in there. Not a black hole,
Wow.
just a hole in the ground.
Do you know
But
how
yeah,
that happened or no?
I have no idea, no.
That's scary.
Unfortunately, it is real. So now you're 1-3.
I was gonna make a bad joke, but I didn't want to. You know what I was gonna say?
What? I guess tell me after if you want.
No, I could say it. I made a trip to Taiwan, and I think I just like dropped like my thing, and then like yeah, just made a huge hole.
What
I
the
usually hold it like with two hands
fuck?
whenever I have to go around.
Oh, Marzooq the big schlong.
This is human made.
No, this is actually AI.
Damn, what the hell? You can never tell with insects or plants and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Because we have the technology to get close-up pictures with actual cameras, but AI can
Yeah,
actually make sick pictures with them too. So now you're 3 for 2-3, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hey, what happens if I lose?
I don't know. I guess I'll leak all
I get
your
to meg you. I get to meg you for free
if you win or lose.
if I win.
No. No. Uh if you win, let's say if you win 2 in a row, I'll give you that.
I win 2 in a row. Okay, but
Okay.
this is um this is probably human made.
Yeah, this is human made. This is
Nice.
what is it called? Uh Purple flower something field in Japan.
Damn.
Yeah. Now this picture.
What do you think this is?
What do I think this is?
Yeah.
What do you mean, bro? It's a beach. What is it
No, I was
supposed to
trying to
be?
get a hint out of you.
Oh,
So do you have do you remember all of this? Like if it's AI or human made or what?
yeah, I have it in my brain. And
Okay, okay.
I wrote it down in a notepad that I have open right now.
This is Toronto.png.
Huh?
How could this the file name for this Toronto.png?
Yeah.
Okay, this is AI made.
This is AI made?
Yeah, I'm guessing I'm wrong, but yeah, I think it's AI made because I don't know where
N-
this is in Toronto.
No, this is real.
What the
It's
hell?
a new
Where is
beach that
this?
opened in Toronto.
Oh wow.
I mean, either way, it could have been I could have just wrote Toronto Beach in AI, but yeah, like this
Yeah,
is a new beach that opened in Toronto apparently. I literally just saw it on the
yeah,
news and I was like, oh yo, this is good for AI and human segment.
yeah, that was actually good.
So you're
So what
four
am
for
I at?
three? Three
Four,
wrong,
four.
4 right.
Okay, yeah. Wait, four wrong, three right?
No,
I thought I
three
had more
three
right.
wrong, 4 right.
Okay.
Now you want me to zoom in for this?
Yes, please. That is AI made.
That is AI made?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that your
AI
is that your
made.
final guess?
Yep.
No, this is real.
What the hell?
No, I'm
Where's
joking. This
that?
is AI.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Let's
this is
try.
from Midjourney as well. This
Damn.
is
What was the
apparently supposed to
prompt?
be a trip to Bali, as you
Okay.
can see by the title here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess you won this week, Marzook. One more
Let's
week
go.
and you get to give me head or whatever the prompt was. Whatever the reward was, I forgot already.
What? Like I win and then I have to give you head?
Yeah, that's the reward.
That's
I
pretty
thought it was
weird.
pretty. I thought it was pretty generous there.
Maybe. Maybe in an alternate world.
Maybe in Digital Street.
Hey, yo. Guys, that's not what happens at Digital Street, just to let you know.
Everything is halal at Digital Street.
Yeah. All right, so it's not my turn for the ending quote. Like, if you really want to say the ending quote, let me know. But I have a pretty good one.
But if I just steal the one you have here? Nah, I'm
I mean,
joking. Go
everyone
ahead.
knows it's
That's
mine
fine.
now. Okay.
Oh, that is true.
So, yeah, I was watching a video last week and I came across a really good quote that hit me. And yeah, I even added it to my personal website. Like I have a quote section at the bottom of my website. So I added it to that too. And the quote is, "Oh, fear doesn't prevent life. Fear doesn't prevent death, like fear prevents life."
Did you cut out there? Can you say that again?
Oh, fear
I mean, I
doesn't
can.
prevent
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
fear fear doesn't prevent death, like fear prevents life.
Fear. Okay. Fear doesn't prevent death, like fear prevents life.
Like
Fear doesn't.
fear can prevent death, right? It can
Oh, like,
prevent death because you're saving yourself from something that can kill
oh,
you, right?
okay. But it can prevent life. Like you're not gonna live to the fullest.
Exactly.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. And the guy
Interesting.
that said it seemed like he just said it on the spot. He just said it randomly.
No way.
Yeah. Like he didn't even try to like make a quote type of scenario. He just said it randomly, which is pretty insane. So the guy who said it was Stefan, which is a new member of this YouTube channel called Yes Theory. I'm not sure if you guys know about it. It's my favorite, one of my favorite YouTube channels. I'm wearing their merch too.
Jeez.
But yeah, that's the ending quote for this week, guys. Make sure that you keep that in your mind and just never fear anything. Like we spoke about in our guest podcast with Sharaf too. Can't be a pussy. So that's about it for the quote. And as let you guys know before we end each podcast, that we're selective about our audience and we only reached out to you in a certain way. And that's why you're listening to this. And the reason why we're selective is that we only want fierce nerds like you in our community. And if you don't know what a fierce nerd is by now, like you should, but search fierce nerd on Google so that you know what it is. And yeah, it's a compliment. But yeah, we only want people like you in our community, unless you know people that are also like you. And then yeah, sure, refer them our way, and so that we could grow this community and podcast. But yeah, keep it a secret for now, and we'll let you know when we're gonna open it up to the public.
Perfect. Perfect little conclusion. See you guys later.
Peace.
See you next week at Digital Street. You know it's love, yo.
Thanks, Deep Fake Tupac.
Respect to Pick and Tate. Final deep fake sign off by Yobo Morgan Freeman.